Good morning, Miss Keisha. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. So, what brings you in today?
To get a screening?
You're getting to get a screening. You're getting a
Mhm.
screening on. You just fill out a questionnaire about alcohol screening.
Yes.
So, why don't you tell a bit about the things that happen when you drink?
Mm, I'm loud. I've been told I'm a little obnoxious. I kind of black out sometimes.
hmm
Yeah, I wake up, can't really remember.
Okay. So the way this works, I'm going to ask you a few questions that I'll read the answers aloud so you can answer honestly. I do appreciate you taking time to come in and sit with me to help fill us out. So the first question is, how often do you have a drink containing alcohol? Never, monthly or less, 2 to 4 times a month, 2 times a week, four times or more, never.
4 times or more.
4 times or more. Okay. How many drinks containing alcohol do you have on a typical day when you are drinking? 0 to 2, 3 or 4, 5 or 6, seven through nine, 10 or more.
5 or 6.
5 to 6. Okay. How often do you have a five or more drinks on one occasion?
Often.
Often. So would it be weekly, monthly,
You can say weekly.
weekly? Okay. How often during the last year have you found that you were not able to stop drinking once you started? Never, less than monthly, weekly, daily, almost daily.
Monthly.
Monthly. How often during the last year have you failed to do what was normally expected of you because of drinking? Never, less than monthly, weekly, daily, almost daily.
Monthly.
Monthly. How often during the last year have you needed a first drink in the morning to get yourself going after a heavy drinking session?
Hmm. Monthly.
Monthly. How often during the last year have you had a feeling of guilt or remorse after drinking?
Monthly.
Monthly. How often during the last year have you been unable to remember what happened the night before because of your drinking?
Weekly.
Weekly. Have you or someone else been injured because of your drinking? No. Yes, but not in the last year. Yes, in the last year.
Yes, in the last year.
Yes, in the last year. Have a relative, friend, or other healthcare worker been concerned about your drinking or suggested you cut down? No. Yes, but not in the last year. Yes, but in the last year.
Yes, within the last year.
Have you ever been in treatment for an alcohol problem?
No.
No, currently or in the past.
No.
No. Okay, so right now, Miss Keisha, I'm just gonna total this up for you. Um, Okay, so Miss Keisha, you scored a 29 on our alcohol screening, and that places you in the severe column. Do you know what that means?
No.
That means that I'm going to provide a brief intervention, and I'm going to refer you to a place where you can probably have a counselor that comes and see you weekly and you can discuss with them your need to drink or why you started drinking, things like that. So just right now, you this everything is confidential. Everything you tell me remains between just you and I, and no one knows unless you give me permission to tell. And so, with that being said, Miss Keisha, why did you have the need to start drinking in the first place?
Mm, like everybody was drinking, so I wanted to too.
Okay, so it was just everybody was doing it, and you want to do it too. And what age were you? What age when you started? When you did start drinking? 12. Okay, so you were 12 years old, and that's when you started drinking. And you were drinking because everyone else was drinking, correct? So did anyone in your family know you were drinking at that time? Okay. If you don't mind me asking, tell me about home.
My mom, she worked a lot. My dad was a truck driver.
Okay, so mom worked a lot and dad was a truck driver, so dad was not home much. Okay, so with your mom working a lot, your dad not being home much, how did that make you feel?
Lonely.
Made you feel lonely? So it made you feel lonely. So take me back to the first day you started drinking when you were that 12-year-old girl in middle school, and that the day and you started drinking that first day. What was going on?
Mm, I went to my friend's house
Okay.
and we were playing the game and we started drinking. And then I went home and nobody was home. And I found some alcohol and I started drinking it. And I just put water back in it from what I drank.
Okay. So when you drank the alcohol and you put the water back in it, did anyone find out about it?
I don't think so. No one ever said anything.
Okay, so there were so they didn't. So we're gonna just go ahead and say that they didn't find the alcohol bottle. Okay, so and during the time you were coming up. So you started at 12. You're 25 now. So you've been drinking for 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and looking back at the questionnaire, you say within the last year, friends or family members or other healthcare workers have been concerned about your drinking and also that you cut down. So who was it? Who was that thought that you need to cut down?
Family.
Family. Can you be more specific?
My parents.
Your parents. So your parents. So what did your parents tell you?
They feel like I need to go to treatment and that I drink too much and I can't hold my alcohol when I drink
Mm-hmm.
and they get upset.
Okay. So your parents get upset because of the way you behave when you have alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Do do you feel like you have an alcohol problem?
No.
No? Okay. So my next question, how on a scale of 1 to 10, how ready are you to cut back on your alcohol? 0. So, at this moment in time, you're not looking to start coming back at all. Okay. Well, is it okay for me to go ahead and send the referral over to Happy Meadows down the street?
Okay.
Or do you have a place that you'd rather go instead?
No, that's fine.
Okay. I know a lot of good people over at Happy Meadows, and they do some real good work. I've seen on some of their alcohol and other substance abuse circles that they've done. So before we wrap up, do you have any other questions to ask me? Any other substances that you are dealing with that you like to seek assistance with? No. Okay. So just the alcohol. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I am going to make the referral. I'm gonna send it over. You may get a call from someone there saying that they want you to come in for another screening. That'll be their screening. We'll keep this here, unless they request a screening, which I would have to call you myself. And of course, I can't really do that. So they're more likely to do their own screening. So if there aren't any other concerns that you have, then I will let you go and you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will make the referral as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.